Hello everyone, welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we are going to be going up to the state of Minnesota, more specifically the northeastern part of Minnesota. We're going to be talking about the disappearance of Tonya Yarmakov, who disappeared on September 4th of this year, 2024. Tonya is a 23-year-old woman. She was on a camping trip with her family. They had gone to Savanna Portage State Park. I'm, of course, going to have maps, pictures, everything to give you an idea of where this all took place. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free. It really helps out the channel a lot. My efforts with search and rescue, research. If you have any questions about that, you can always email me. I love hearing from you all, or leave me a comment. All right, let's get into it. Here is a map of where Savanna Portage State Park is located in Minnesota. In northeastern Minnesota, to be more specific, the park is roughly 16,000 acres in size. Here is a satellite map to give you an idea of where it is in relation to places like Giants Ridge Recreation Area, as well as the various lakes. Minnesota is known as the land of 10,000 lakes because there literally are lakes everywhere. This is just to give you an idea of where it's in relation to the three biggest cities, Duluth and the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. The family had traveled there from their home in Dundas, Minnesota, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. A very simple 3-hour drive up to Savanna Portage State Park, which they had done many times in the past. This was not their first time to the park. They were all very familiar with it. The family had traveled through the main gate, which is here. This is a satellite map to show you the outline of the entire state park. Let's quickly look at some pictures of the park and the area that they were camping in. This is the lake in which they were camping directly adjacent to. As you can see, it's very beautiful. It's surrounded by forest areas, which is very common for the lakes in Minnesota. The family was staying in one of the cabins that are around the lake in this area. They were all having a great time, including Tonya. This is Tonya right here. She is 23 years old. She was last seen wearing a brightly colored tie-dyed shirt, black basketball shorts, a pair of red and pink headphones. She is a little over 5 feet tall. She's got brown hair and brown eyes. She absolutely loved the outdoors, camping, hiking. She loved exploring the various state parks. She loved hiking, exploring the various trails. She was so good at navigating, her family and friends actually called her the human GPS. Tonya is incredibly outgoing, incredibly friendly. She would love to tell people stories about herself. She has autism and type 1 diabetes. She loved to tell people how they could explore, enjoy the outdoors. The whole family was having a wonderful time on this camping trip. This was the third day of their trip, so on September 4th of this year, 2024, they had gone down to the dock in the early afternoon. They were going to take this rowboat out. Tonya decided that she was going to stay behind and just sit in her favorite lawn chair on the dock. Tonya's mother, brother, and father were on the rowboat. Within a couple minutes of going out, they looked back and saw Tonya sort of jerk her head to the right as if she was looking at something. Looked like she was getting up, but then she sat back down. The family then saw Tonya do the same thing, turn her head abruptly to the right. This time she got up. She then ran into the forest as if she was chasing something. The family was able to get back to the dock within 5 minutes. They immediately started searching everywhere around. They looked in their cabin, all the neighboring cabins. They looked into the forest. They checked their vehicle. They then got into their vehicle and started searching all over the park, at which point they contacted the park rangers, as well as the Aitkin County Sheriff's Office. Tonya had gone into the northern forest, which is very dense. This is what it looks like if you were to go running into it. The family was just completely taken aback by this because they knew that she was so familiar with all these trails, and if anyone could find their way, it was Tonya. Like I said, they called her the human GPS. She was able to navigate all these hiking trails and had been for years. The Aitkin County Sheriff's Office immediately came in and started the search. They brought in the Aitkin County search and rescue teams. They spent the next several weeks using search parties, drones, ATVs. They had several canine units as well as planes, helicopters, specialized drones that they programmed in the colors of what Tonya was last wearing. They were combing the entire water and the landscape that surrounds it. These are various pictures from the search and rescue efforts. After 2 weeks of searching, they found no trace of her. This was absolutely devastating to the family. They had no idea how this could have happened. In multiple interviews, the family stated that how exceptionally talented Tonya is at traversing park trails and navigating areas, even those that she hasn't been in. Her friends said that her passion for travel, hiking, camping, she was the one that usually was doing the planning of the trips that they went on. The family is incredibly close. They all said that she never would have willingly run away or done anything to make them worry. She knew that after the boating, they were going to go get some ice cream. She was looking forward to that. When asked, everyone that knows Tonya said she never would have passed up an opportunity to get ice cream with her family. The family continued to stay and try and get more people involved in the search. The police initially thought there might have been some foul play involved. They checked the surveillance cameras at both the entrance and exit cameras. This didn't lead to any clues. They did say that there are a myriad of hidden trails, entrances, exits that anyone who knew the park well could easily come and go as they pleased without anybody noticing. The family continued to try and get more people involved, and they continued to have a hard time even having people get attention to Tonya's case, and they just became increasingly worried and upset because she has type 1 diabetes. Without her medication, it can become life-threatening very quickly. Some of the search and rescue volunteers continued to come back using their specialized drones and some ground teams to try and find any trace, any clue. Even with all these extended efforts, not one trace of Tonya has ever been found. Tonya is such a wonderful young woman. She was very well known in her community. She was an advocate for young people like herself, which she said was very unique. She wrote to the New Moon Girls publication in 2019 telling her story. She would explain that 25% of people that have autism are nonverbal, but she is, and she said that she is in fact very verbal. She loves language. She's actually bilingual herself. Sadly, because they didn't find any trace of her, the family didn't believe that she could have survived out in the wilderness for that long. They did have her declared deceased and held a memorial candlelight vigil for her. The family is quoted in saying that the light and joy of their life went out on September 4th, 2024, when Tonya went missing in Savanna Portage State Park in northern Minnesota. She vanished without a trace. They said despite her daily challenges of having the dual diagnosis of autism and type 1 diabetes, she had the sunshine gene. Her psychologist over the decades said she was an incredible person. A complete stranger in a waiting room once said, "If we all had such joy as she does, this world would be a much better and different place." She loved reading and would read any book she could get her hands on. She loved going to the library and traveling, cats and dogs, buying books at Goodwill, but most of all, she loved people and life, the two most important things any and all of us should love. A celebration of Tonya's life was held on Saturday, October 5th at 1 p.m. in Valley Grove. Sadly, the family still has no answers as to what happened to Tonya. What happened that day? She obviously saw something that made her get up and run into the woods. What could have that been? Was it an animal? Was it a person waving her to come say hello? I still think that foul play is a big possibility in this case, especially since they haven't found any clues, any trace of her. Sadly, her disappearance didn't get anywhere near the media coverage that many cases do. They didn't get a lot of help from neighboring counties. The search and rescue and sheriff's office did a great job with their work, but of course they could have used more help. The family is devastated, not only losing her, but having no answers as to what happened to this wonderful, talented woman who could navigate trails with a blink of her eye. And all of a sudden, one day, she just vanishes with no trace. Through all this heartache, of course, the family still wants to know what happened to their daughter. They have a GoFundMe page set up. I'll have that link in the description. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Tonya Yarmakov, please call the Aitkin County Sheriff's Office at 888-900-2138. Of course, I'll have all that information and more in the description. I want to dedicate this video to Tonya Yarmakov, her family, her friends, all her loved ones, all the search and rescue and authorities that went out looking for her. I hope and pray that she is found one day soon, that her family gets the answers that they deserve. Tonya touched the lives of so many people, and I hope by keeping her message and her story alive, she will continue to touch many more. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support, your comments, your feedback. Definitely leave me a comment. I love hearing from you all. Let me know what you think of this video, her story, your thoughts. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music. Hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me to the end. As always, I will have my sources as well as photo credits in the description if you'd like to do further reading. Please share this video with as many people as you can, or Tonya's story, to get more people aware and hopefully help find her. If you'd like to be entered into the holiday calendar giveaway, all you need to do is leave me a comment about this video or any videos in the past, or any feedback whatsoever, and just letting me know you'd like to be entered into the giveaway. I wanted to say thank you again to all of you for all your support, your comments, everything. It means the world to me. All right, everybody, I'll see you in the next one.